Welcome back. Welcome, Jomo, to another live podcast of cryptocurrencies. Today, we're going to talk about potential relief rally for crypto. And yeah, man, what do you think? What do you see in the chart out there, Jomo?
Yeah, Tim, thank you very much. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in planet Earth. Hopefully, you're doing fine. Um, Look, first of all, before I start, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share a comment. We want to hear your questions and we want to hear about them ASAP because today I'm very short in time. I would love to see you say hey, and I would love to see any type of questions you might have. I know that in these times where things are quote unquote boring, okay, that's when people kind of are not looking, they're kind of starting to neglect the market. And that is actually when you don't want to neglect, because when everyone is starting to neglect, maybe there's an imminent move coming sooner than people appreciate. Okay. Um, but I understand their sentiment and I understand why it's boring for them. Look, for me, nothing has changed and since anything that would since we've been talking about, right? I can share the screen. This is Bitcoin for me. Everything for me, everything is revolving right now around Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin is still within this channel, okay, over here, as you can see, and it might break down or not. Maybe it will break from its sideways. I actually don't know what Bitcoin wants to do, but I will tell you this, okay? If we do continue down, it will take the markets down with it, okay? If we will break away from this channel and create some sort of a sideways action, okay, this can actually be a good platform for some longs to to happen, okay? And we in our membership already have potential longs on our site to make sure that if this scenario happens, we will take longs with our members. Why? Because whenever Bitcoin kind of rests CM, that's when small to mid caps that didn't get their time to shine, but they want to shine a little bit, get their time to do that. But we will be aggressive when they take profit. We won't just hodl it or hold it. You know how we operate. Our MO, all right, is to take profit into strength if that happens. Okay. So we do have longs in our site if we do get this sort of sideways action or maybe even a small push, let's say, of Bitcoin, and we have some short eyeing if we do have a continuation to the downside. That's more or less the two scenarios that I'm eyeing right now. I don't see any scenario right now with a big push. I know people are, obsessing about we're gonna get the relief rally now. I've been seeing this all over Twitter. We're gonna get a push. We talked about it in the video yesterday by Murad. We are ready for the best base melting rally on the financial market history. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I know we have, the Fed event this week. I think it's, and the day after tomorrow. Let me just, double check it to make sure I don't give any false information. But we have the interest rate um, decision. Let me share when that is. That's going to be on the 19th. So tomorrow we're going to have a decision. I think the decision is going to remain at 4.5%. I don't see any big change, but people are obsessed about a decrease in rate and how a decrease in rate is going to make a huge move up for some reason. I don't see that happening right now. I see somewhat of a boring market a little bit, maybe some longs, maybe some short volatility. So nothing that will last, nothing that will trend, and just taking profit, as fast as possible, capture, tiny bit and that's it. And Ian, before I give the microphone back to you, people that don't know who maybe Nicholas Darvis is. Nicholas Darvis is a trader from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He wrote a book, a very easy book to read, very entertaining, called How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. It's in the 60s. So $2 million in the 60s is a lot of money, okay? As a retail trader, while he was a dancer, right? He was a dancer, he was a tango dancer, and he made $2 million. So he termed these types of markets a bird market. Why? Because you need to like how birds eat, they eat a little bit every time. That's what you can do now in the market. If you're trading it, you can take a little bit, just like eating a bird. And one point or another, a trend will continue emerge again, either back downside or up. We don't know exactly, but then maybe the stakes will come back again. Right now, it's the bird market. What do you think, Ian?
I don't know, man. I'm waiting for just like you said for Bitcoin. I'm not. I actually think Bitcoin have a chance to bounce, man. To bounce here and to really make a push higher. Let's see, man. Let's see. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. I'm just waiting for the price action, waiting for some trades. I already have some trades open. You know, just to be early in case Bitcoin break out. So I'm positioned very nicely in a few coins. People in the community as well, the same like me. And we'll see if we get the push higher. If Bitcoin break, boom, aggressiveness will come, and we're gonna play more. We're gonna take more trades on altcoins, more altcoin trades, and bigger trades as Bitcoin confirm and show us the wind is behind us. It's blowing behind us, and we have momentum. At the moment, yeah, like you said, there is no momentum yet, but
Nothing.
we have some bullish signs, short-term bullish signs for a rally or a bounce or whatever. So yeah, it's a good time to pay attention, to be in a community, of traders, to know what you're doing, because most people don't know what they're doing in crypto, and they're gonna keep getting wrecked again and again and again. This year probably, because this year is gonna be, it's not gonna be a picnic, a walk in the park, like they think, like 2017 or like 2021. Man, it's not looking like it's gonna be a walk in the park. So yeah, man, if they don't know how to
No, I
trade,
get it. I get it. Well, there you have it, folks. CM is positioned for the upside. Myself, I'm more in the waiting state. Okay, right now. Um, but both of us agree on one thing: nothing ferocious is about to happen just yet. Maybe an itsy bitsy move here or an itsy bitsy move there until we get some sort of a catalyst to either way. And yeah, that's on Bitcoin and the entire market as a whole. And CM, we are preparing a surprise for people, right? And this is for people that are our members and for people that aren't our members as well. CM and I, ladies and gents, you've listened to it here first. We are creating a webinar, right? A short webinar between 3 to 4 hours, okay, about how to master, how to win in a bear market. I'm going to give you a small sneak peek to it, just a small sneak peek, okay? We're not selling it just yet. We will be starting to sell it in a couple of days. So you can make sure that you take a seat, because this is going to be limited for the number of people in it, because we can't take too much people, because we want to make sure that we give the people that will be first to it the amount of time to ask questions and get all the answers. But what we're actually going to do here, it doesn't matter if we are in a bear market right now or the bear market is going to come after the next move up. We never try to time the bear market, but we always want to know that we have the skill set, right, to win in the bear market, not only to survive. But most people lose their asses off. Okay, me and CM's goal is not only to help you survive the bear market, is actually to teach you how to win in the bear market, right? So it's going to be about master shorting, hedging as well. If that's something that you like, I will teach how to hedge, and of course, how to have amazing risk control. So you heard it first today. This is going to be open to our members and non-members alike, but it is going to be limited in capacity. So the moment we will start, selling it, if it's something that is interesting for you, you should, list to it as fast as possible. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. Me and Tim are really excited about this, because this will actually we're trying to help people to position themselves with knowledge to at least take somewhat of control over their trading and investing life. And we feel like there's a huge, huge, huge gap, okay, in how people, uh, do the outcome in a bear market and how they can do in a bear market with just a little bit of education. You don't need to be a wizard. You just need to have a little bit of education to know how to win in the bear market. And it's not as hard as people think, but it's not simple, all right? Sorry, it's simple, but it's not easy. That's what I'm trying to say. And we'll teach you those simple principles, but it's going to be up to you to learn it from us, and of course, to do it once the time arises. Right? What do you think, CM, about it? Are you excited as I am about it?
Yeah, man, that's the best thing a person can do, in a bear market is learn how to short and learn how to manage risk and learn how to trade in a bear market. Because if you go into a bear market, hodler, oh my God, you are
Exactly.
going to get so wrecked that
Oh,
the wrecked word will have to be replaced with disaster or something. Man, it is not gonna be a pleasant sight, and that's what we teach. Why to get wrecked when you can actually thrive, when they can actually make money on these scam coins when they collapse? Because when they collapse, it's like a breakout to the other direction. It's a free money crash that you can capitalize, because most crypto bros, they have no idea how to short. So you short against only a few market participants. Get me? You trade, you don't have a competition in a bear market. So bear markets are much easier and much more organic, and much more easier to nail a big short when you know what you're doing. Again, it's not easy. Again, it's not easy, but with the
but it's
right,
simple.
hey,
It's not easy, but it's simple. That's what you're trying to say.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, the idea is, man, we're gonna teach you how to short. We're gonna teach you how to profit in a bear market from experience. We've been doing that in 2022, and we're gonna do it again. And we actually been doing that in the last 2 months, shorting crypto while we are still in technical bull market. So having a shorting strategy or a shorting, a method, it will change your life as a trader. It will help you make much more money in the long run and really master the markets. That's what you want.
Yeah. And of course, for all of you live viewers, you're going to have somewhat of a discount to it. And we're not pricing it too much or an expensive, because we actually want you to get this knowledge almost for free. The price is going to be a bit outrageous, but it's only because we love each and every one of you, because we want you to thrive, and because we think this is really important. Anyway, let's move forward, because the sneak peek has overdue. We have Nick here asking about Soul. Let me go over Soul. Me and CM, we made a video about Soul yesterday. So Nick, go watch it. But I'm gonna give you, the rundown of it. Okay, Soul was one of the main leaders of this bull market. Okay, it moved, from this was a trade we took actually. Me and CM both, and all our members, we took this trade over here. Sorry, this is not the correct one. We took this trade from here. This was a small cup and handle from the 25 area. We sold a roughly first here, took another trade, sold again, took another trade, and roughly here is where I stopped kind of, making money on Soul and it sell everything else. Okay, so this was one of the leaders, and as a leader, it's not leaders don't only start a bull market, they as well give you signals of when potentially a bull market is ending. Because if a leader stops, its momentum, then something is changing, in the sentiment and in the positioning of the participants. Okay, and what you see happened is we had a break to new higher highs here. Actually, two attempts. This was a very tiny, mini attempt, and then another big attempt to go to new highs and to try and give Solana that moment to really shine and to see if Solana is made out of a rare breed of coins that made new highs from one cycle to another and actually maintained it. Right now, Solana failed that attempt. Solana isn't one of those rare breeds just yet and actually failed. And when you combine this fake out with the understanding that this fake out day actually happened in the biggest meme coin issuance in the memory of meme coin, which is the Trump meme coin, and that failed too, became quite a rug. And you compile the evidence of everything, you understand that maybe Solana has stopped. Okay, and of course that's only an assumption that we have right now. at least top for the short term, 100% midterm, probably long term. No one really knows. But I think Solana is out of favor and maybe signaled and actually did, not maybe, actually did signal the start of a potential, bear market on alts, which most alts are in a bear market, and potentially even for Bitcoin. We don't know that yet because Bitcoin is still not in a technical bear market. But that is my thoughts, and I think CM's thoughts on Solana right now. What do you think, CM? Anything to add?
Oh yeah, Saul looks like shit. Go watch our video, man, and understand the higher high fake out the theory and the
Yeah,
everything we think about Saul. We outlined it in the last yesterday video. Go check it out, like it,
yeah.
share it on Twitter, give us some love, Nikki, and yeah, man. And guys,
It's a good video.
like the video, guys. Really like the video. Help us get to new audience because we have only five people watching. So if you can like it, it will be nice. I'm joking. Now we have
This is what
another.
happens when everyone is kind of quote unquote bored right now, right? They don't they lose contact with the market and they lose focus with the market and then they miss out on the first movers. Okay.
It's
And then they
not
miss
bored,
out.
Jomo. It's not bored. It's wrecked.
They're
This is a different kind of boredom, man. They are
maybe.
they got bored from seeing the red candles and the percentage decrease in their account. They just got bored, and what they are now in denial, and they're in denial and in like apathy. They're in apathy. They don't care, man. A person with a gun will come to their face with their face like this. They don't care, man. They're already down 80%, on, on their coins, oh, so be it, man. Shoot me now. They don't care. That's the problem because, you know, after you get wrecked so bad, you don't even have the little bit of like energy or willingness to get yourself out of the hole. Only a few people can pull themselves out from wrecked city and shine. There is not a lot, man. There is not a lot can do that, man. All
No,
right.
and people that don't know how to do it, they have no chance either way, and they will just wait for the market to save them a little bit. That's it.
No one will save you, man, from wrecked city. Wrecked city is like a Atlantis city. It just sinking and sinking and sinking, man. You need to learn to be a pirate if you want to survive. The wrecked city. You need to learn how to sail like sailor, sail the market. Not like Michael Saylor. No. This guy's
Not
gonna
like
get
Michael
wrecked.
Saylor.
This guy's gonna get wrecked.
He's gonna get wrecked for sure, man. I'm actually quite anticipating to see how will he react to Red City because he's digging his own hole by just compiling bitcoins and taking more debt and everything. But that's a thing for another video. Chitek Patel is asking us, what do we think of a cycle ending in Q4, probably Q4 225 or Q1 26? And
Oh my God.
man, you
I
know,
start. I start.
you start, go for it.
Man, I think Bitcoin or topped out for this cycle already, or we're gonna have another final fake rally or to new high or to a double top, whatever, and that's gonna be the top. So I think the top or is in or is gonna be in Q2 2025. I don't think we're gonna run into the end of the year. I might be completely wrong. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think trying to nail down specific dates is a fool's errand, quote unquote. I'm not saying anything bad about YouTube Tech. I'm saying that, no one can know, dates. Dates don't really matter, okay? Yeah, Q4 2025, I understood that, okay? So look, me and Tia, we differ a little bit about this, and this is something that we talked about, continuously in the past few months because always people want to understand the stances. And of course, one big possibility is that Bitcoin has stopped inauguration day with the fake meme coin of Trump. In hindsight, can be watched as, oh my God, this was such a clear top signal because usually those type of things happen at the tops where you have like the most important person on the planet Earth right now, politically wise, at least, creating a meme coin on his inauguration day and we had a fake out due to that on Bitcoin, which is the main leader, Solana, and another leader. And since then, we only have downhill. Okay, so in hindsight, let's say 6 months from today, let's say we're going to go down even further. People are going to look back at that day, and they're going to be like, of course that was the top, right? Because it sounds, it will be like, it will be clear as day that this type of behavior is a is an indication of a top more often than not. Okay, but still, I think that we are in the past few years we are not in a we are not in a vacuum. Crypto is not operating within a vacuum. And because crypto is not operating in a vacuum, like in 2017, for instance, or even 2021, it wasn't a vacuum, but we had the biggest quantitative easing on planet Earth in 2020. Okay, so right now we have a lot of macro stuff that eventually those are the ones that steer, the market. If we want it or we don't, all the market participants, what they're thinking of are these macro potential events. Okay, so there's always a chance that a new piece of information or a new piece of something will happen that will take the market to a different direction that we didn't think about earlier because it's something new that we didn't think of. Okay, but anything can happen. My view is that we have another leg up due to potential quantitative easing, big quantitative easing by the United States, by Trump, because I think that's the type of president he wants to be. And I think that he does that. I think China is going to follow suit. And if both of these, empires are going to do huge quantitative easing, potentially in the many trillions, then we can get a push up. But I don't know how will that look like, and it's not a guaranteed whatsoever. And we don't know date. We have no idea on date. It's just assumptions, just theories. We don't trade based on these theories. We trade based on shorter term, price action. That's what we do. So even though we have longer term ideas, we don't trade based upon them. Hopefully that helps, Mr. Patel.
Yeah, man. Like the video, guys. Like the video. Subscribe. We're gonna wrap it up very, very soon. Do you think the hodlers will learn not to hold even with 80% drawdown, add on, and I'll
No,
keep taking their money? Yeah, exactly, Mr. Trees. We are gonna keep. We're not taking their money. We're just making money from crashes, from scam coins that collapse. That's we're not taking anyone money. They're just getting wrecked. They're just destroying themselves. All this idea of taking other people money, it's completely false because you trade, you take money from the market if you're successful, if you're on point. If you're not on point and you're against the trend and you get wrecked, you're just gonna get wrecked and you lose all your money. So it just the market. All right, guys. Anything
exactly.
to add, Jobo? You wanna wrap it up, man? What do you think?
Yeah, let's wrap it up in a second. Look, NT trees, people, I grew up as a salesperson in my 20s, and we had a saying, hackers don't die, they just change, or something like that, right? So I don't want to say anything bad about hodlers because I was a hodler myself until I changed my ways and everything. But the fact is that even if some will learn that hodling isn't a good strategy, new people will come believing that hodling is a good strategy, and it's basically will lead more people. Each new cycle will have new people hodling, and that's the way it is. But we're gonna try and save as many people as we can, give them education so they can understand that they can take charge on themselves, on their investments, and um, profit over the long term, and that's what we're trying to do. CM, we're gonna wrap it up after I do the SEMA one before because it's the last question. I'm gonna show the chart for this newcomer. This is someone new. I think for our live, this is the coin he's asking about, Genome. So, Mr. Simo, this coin looks very, very bad. You can see it had a huge move up of 13x, had a blow up top ever since it's in a horrible, horrendous stage 4 downtrend. Okay, so if you understand us, okay, we don't trade these types of assets. We believe these types of assets are more of a rug pull oriented, maybe somewhat of a dump and pump. So a pump and dump, sorry. So be very careful. We don't advocate trying to nail a bottom on these types of trades. learn how to trade. That will be your safest bet. We teach that. If you want to learn how to trade, you should scan the QR code in the upper left side of this screen. Go to our WAP, take a membership, understand how to trade, because looking at these type of charts is a net losing proposition. And I can't really teach you, in 2 seconds why that is the case, but you can see it at the gutter. It's just very bad, not something that me and CM will, engage in. This is a very bad kind of thought process with CMO. Hopefully you can actually educate yourself a little bit and improve here on. Yeah.
Rug pools hunting. That's the strategy of the crypto hodlers. Let's hunt for the next rug pull. Let's look
Yeah,
on the chart,
yeah.
the most ugliest chart in the world, that is in a nightmare bear market that will never recover, and buy it and ape in it and hold to our dear lives, man. What the fuck, people, man? Anyway, let's wrap it
Yeah.
up, guys. Join our community link below, and remember, no edge,
No trade.